Silver's on the scene. It is June 30th, 2024, Sunday. 17 weeks, 6 days. That's 125 days. That's over 4 months. 17 weeks, 6 days, 125 days ago today, Sebastian Rogers was having a fantastic day, doing a lot of activities, having a great time. But what happened that evening into the early morning hours of the 26th, Sunday the 26th? I've titled this Sebastian Rogers, Is He Really Missing? Let me explain. Katie Proudfoot, where is your son? So that's the question we have today. So I want to share with you different videos and pieces I've put together that'll go straight to this question. Katie Proudfoot, where is your son? The inconsistencies, as you've seen, I'm sure, in several different interviews on your own, they're there. And as I'm rewatching this case, as I'm keeping this child's name out there, and awareness for him, I can't help but to notice certain things. So let me hit play. I will stop from time to time and we will discuss.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the doors. Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
Well, then from where?
Did you catch that? Nancy is attentive. She looks down, not from our house. She looks back up immediately. Then from where? Listen. Listen carefully.
That's what we were hoping, that neighborhood ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, the first point I want to make as we go through this video, I started to do the whole video, let you watch, then I'd come back and make the points. I think it's best for you if I make the point at the moment and then we move forward. So, here she clearly admits they are, number one, they don't have security cameras, or didn't that night. And number two, they're very aware of their neighbors having them. So they're very aware of that, which I believe is why the house was so dark, and we'll continue on. So she's aware of that. Take note. Listen carefully. Moving on.
I want to go back.
Authorities have scrutinized home security video from that Hendersonville neighborhood, trying to learn what happened to that teen with autism.
Now, you can take a look for yourself. Our Nick Barris obtained video that appears to show two people near Sebastian's home the night his parents say he disappeared.
The video you're about to see is from early Monday morning, February 26th, around 3:10 a.m. Now, there are no street lights in the Stafford Court neighborhood, so it is at night, pitch black. What you will see here are these 2 points of light, believed to be people with flashlights, in the area around Sebastian Rogers' Hendersonville home. It is believed Sebastian left his home barefoot and with a flashlight sometime overnight. Since his disappearance, authorities have reviewed security video from homes in the neighborhood.
Let's stop here for just a minute. Number one, we're on Sebastian's photo. That keeps the awareness out there. Show this photo as much and as to as many people as you can. But I stop here because you hear that it was believed that Sebastian left with a flashlight. This has been brought up multiple times. Why would you... he didn't take his Switch game that he loved to play. He didn't leave with any shoes on. And he didn't take his cell phone. But for some reason, he took a, as they say, a keychain flashlight. Very curious. Let's move on.
Looking for clues. We've had several clips that have come in, and this one is getting the most attention, showing signs of activity around Sebastian's home the night he disappeared. You see two light sources, which we've circled to help you follow. For point of reference, the security camera was pointed toward the back of Sebastian's home in a common area. In the video, you see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. It's a short time later, and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area, and that is it. I know.
One other question I have is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video or?
Sure. So
The video. Okay, we'll pause right here. Did you see that? Couple of things. I'm showing the original Nick Barris video. It's where it's zoomed in. You can find online the where it backs out. I thought this one would be clearer to show the 2 light sources because that's what we're looking at. And we'll go over the photo from an overhead as well as straight at what this camera you're about to see is actually shooting. But I want to go back. I want to go back right here. Watch Katie. She's clearly playing with something. It appears to be a photo of Sebastian. And as soon as I think it's Olivia, Chronicles of Olivia, as soon as she asks about the flashlight, 2 things happen. Let's watch.
It. I know.
One other question I have is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video or?
Sure. So
The video. So what do you see? You see 2 things. You see the allegedly, in my opinion, let me make sure I get that out there. You see allegedly, in my opinion, the person who knows everything that happened. Both of them know. But you see 2 people. One smirks and kind of, sure, let me tell you about it. Okay? That's Chris Proudfoot. Trying to make us all believe that this video means nothing. So he steps up to create a story for us. Then the other one cowers. Hands are out, touching the photo of Sebastian, it appears. And as soon as he goes to answer, she pulls back. Hands go under the table, retreating from the question and allowing him to answer. And you can watch this video for yourself and see how she just, it's like, I don't want to discuss something that you're asking because I know exactly what that video is. And it's of me. Allegedly, in my opinion. Let's move on. Let's go back. We'll watch one more time. I won't say anything. And then we'll move forward.
Is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video or?
sure. So
The video comes from right there, that house right there is the video. And the video is pointing this direction, back to the Proudfoot home, and that car would be parked right here. And that's where that video is coming from, right there. Right there. Okay, this video, this is the home. We have people watching. So we just turn, so this is the home here that catches the video over there. So here we go. As you come around this turn, there's one home, and then it's the Proudfoot home. So now I do want to stop the video here and just make note. If they're doing anything, Chris Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot, they do still have a sign out front of their home. This is a little over a week ago. So they do have that. So that's a positive. Any awareness is good awareness.
Sebastian Rogers home.
Like I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he'd already, like at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying and I was screaming and he was like, he three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on and he was like go back to the house, they're on their way, and I drove back to the house and 20 days later.
20 days later. Multiple things go on in this video, this clip of the video. Once again from Chronicles of Olivia Credit. And so she's speaking. And whenever she speaks, she doesn't know what she's saying. She cannot keep her story straight, hasn't kept it straight from the beginning, or as they say, from the get-go, right? So what Chris interjects here is, first of all, he looks like he's bored out of his mind. He's ready to go on with his life, and why is he doing this? Secondly, though, the cough. I believe the cough is to get her back on track. Many people have stated that before. But there's three things I want to notice here, for you to notice here. We're going to go back and watch again. I'm not going to make any comments. I want you to just watch carefully and listen carefully. Someone had pointed out earlier, months ago, about how he's already. She says he's already, and she does her hand to her neck. The three taps to, I believe, remember the story that's been created. And then listen to the ran back. I ran back. Wait a second. I drove back. So just listen to these three and we'll discuss.
Like I jumped in my car and I drove around the neighborhood and I drove over by the school and he'd already, like at this point I was like hysterical and I was crying and I was screaming and he was like three-wayed law enforcement and was telling them like our son is missing and we don't know what's going on, and he was like go back to the house, they're on their way, and I drove back to the house and 20 days later we hadn't found him.
20 days later, she says, and 20 days later we haven't found him. So that was 20 days out from, it was probably like their, around the third, I think maybe their second or third face-to-face video interview, and they had one where it was just their hands. So third or fourth interview. But once again, let me say, he's already. Who's already? As another YouTuber had pointed out, he's already gone. You know, she's driving around, but she's thinking, why am I doing this? Because he's already gone. She knows he's gone. 3 taps to remember her story. And then what really sticks out, especially when you talk about this flashlight video, is ran back. So was she subconsciously talking about I ran back when I ran back? If you remember from the video, and you can go back and watch, that the light source that was coming from the home, and we'll show a little bit more here in just a second, that light source was last seen running back. So I ran back. So this is an overhead view, the Proudfoot home. For those of you who've not seen any of my earlier videos, or you can go back and watch as I was driving into the neighborhood, Kellen Lane will bring you into the neighborhood. Let me get this thing off here. Kellen Lane will bring you into the neighborhood. You'll turn after the second turn is Stafford Court. So let's move forward. Show. Okay, right here, boom. So the circles represent everything that's going on. 1001 Stafford Court is where the flashlight, quote unquote, flashlight video is coming from. This triangle is where the car would be parked. And as I said, there's other videos that'll back up and show you the entire thing that Bobby was talking about, the neighbor Bobby, how 1001 home is now released that full video so you can see. So you have their home, the car, what appears to be another flashlight. You have the Proudfoot home. When you turn left on Stafford Court and it starts turning, this has an address of Stafford Court. This probably has a Kellen Lane. And then here, 1006 and then 1008. So they are the second home. If you count this one, the third home off to the right. So the video is shooting from here. You saw in my video. And this is the angle. So with that, what does that mean? And then I'll go to the last photo. For me, the squiggly line you see there, that is Katie Proudfoot. I'm saying it again. That is Katie Proudfoot, 3:30, leaving the home. We saw in the video earlier, she's aware, they're fully aware that people have ring cams, okay? And it's funny because they talk about ring cams as if no one has cameras anywhere else, right? Had 1006 had a back cam, maybe we wouldn't be discussing this, and we would already have Sebastian home. So I believe Katie Proudfoot came out of that home. She made her way with a flashlight down to the car. And whoever was driving this car, I believe it to be Chris Proudfoot's parents driving this car, waited on her. Why did she come here? Allegedly, in my opinion, she's carrying Sebastian. Unresponsive Sebastian, unalive Sebastian. They take him, and as the video shows, it goes down Kellen. And there you go. So, let's go to the last photo, and I will sum it up. The reason I titled this, Sebastian Rogers, Is He Really Missing? Because to us, he's missing. To law enforcement, he's missing. To everyone who hears these made-up stories, he's a missing child, right? Oh, he walked out that door. Well, had he walked out that door, he would have been picked up on cam from across the street. Okay, that's not happening. What is happening is cameras have picked up you, Katie Proudfoot, removing him from the home, thinking you're slick, if you will, coming out the back door, coming through a common area that's super dark. I mean, if you imagine the neighborhood's dark anyway, but through that area, it's super dark. Where I have here stationary lights, non-moving from the windows, the garage doors. Those neighbors have windows in the garage doors, much like the neighbor here. Okay, they have windows here. If you watch the video, you'll see them. Flashlight coming from KP home through the back. Other one waiting. Car parked here. Stafford Court, Kellen Lane, and to my left here would be the thing. So, is he really missing? I think at least 4 people know exactly where he is. Katie Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, is it Terry and Kathy, I believe, Bower Sox. So those 4 people know. Then I'll go a step further and say, I believe Chris Proudfoot has moved the body, so he may be the only one who knows. Not telling the others so they can't say anything if asked. So anyway, Sebastian Rogers, is he really missing? Katie Proudfoot, where is your son? Allegedly, in my opinion, she knows everything. She knows exactly what happened that night. And why is she not talking? So I'll say it one more time. Katie Proudfoot, where is your son? Sebastian, we want to bring you home. We want to keep your name, photo out there. We got to get this kid home. So let's keep the awareness out. Let's keep bringing forth stuff like this. Let's keep highlighting the inconsistencies. Let's keep, I don't like using the word pressure, but let's keep awareness to Katie as well. Because I believe one person and one person alone can end this. So Katie, where is your son? Everyone have a great rest of your weekend. We got 4th of July coming up, so enjoy your week and your holiday weekend. And Silver's on the Scene, thank you again for subscribing and watching these videos. The more views, the more awareness, and that's what it's about. Be safe. Have fun. Peace.